Okay, so let's check out this solo here in the key of A. It starts off with one of my favorite moves, and what you can think about is when you're playing a song like this, the key of A major pentatonic is really going to be your friend here, but you can also sneak in some bluesy minor pentatonic licks as some of these great players do, but we really want to keep it melodic and chord tone centered as much as we can. It's this really great weaving that will happen of licks and chord tones and scales and that sort of thing. Okay, let's jump into the first lick here. We're in the key of A, and I want you to think of sort of A major pentatonic. That's where a lot of these great open string licks live, in the key of A. That kind of stuff. If you've ever checked out any country guitar, that should be somewhat familiar to you. So what I do is I grab the first lick, and it's basically the A chord, and I'll kind of claw it down here with my right hand. So I'm like A, F sharp. Then I grab those open strings, the G and the B. That's a good exercise just to get started with right there. Kind of pedal steely. Yeah. That's your next one. That's the whole lick in its entirety. Get used to that area and play around with ideas like that in there, because you can use the exact thing I played, or you can kind of make up your own. And it kind of follows a nice pattern. Right down the scale there. Now, when I go to the next part, we're still kind of like outlining that A chord by going E, F sharp, A, C sharp, E. Then I walk all the way up from the E to the F sharp. It's actually more of a slide in from the F note, and land that A there. It's probably as far as you'd want to take it to work on that first part. Okay? Now what I do there is think about what's coming up next. Okay, it's the D chord. And I want to play sort of off of the D chord. But before we get into that, when we talk about that right hand stuff, what these players do is they get this great sort of clucky, sort of funky sound that comes out of sort of muting. We're going to get into that here in a second, but you'll see where my hand is muted here, and I'm sort of palm muting, actually. So when I'm playing... So the tail end of that, you really want to make sure that you're palm muting there. Now when we go into the D chord, I'm just going to target the D note all day long, because it's over a D chord. Then it's that great little pull-off lick right there, where I'm just going to pull off from the 4th fret here, all the way to the open 4th string. Okay? So if we're halfway through that D chord shape, now I'm going to go back into the scale, because it's going back to A. Don't remember, this is the chord progression is A, D, A. Still thinking A minor, A major pentatonic the whole time, excuse me. Watch how my right hand is plucking these notes. Now I'm playing that over the E chord. And my brain immediately goes to thinking that's just an E chord, and I'm thinking almost as if it's E minor pentatonic, even though it's not. We're still in the key of A here. I can do that. I can play that sort of bluesy idea. Let me slow that down. So I hammer on that major third there, which is the G sharp. It's a great sort of flat 5 blues walk down here. Okay. We're halfway through the solo, and there's a ton of stuff that you can really wrap your hands around. It's going to really give you a lot of ammunition for playing these kinds of solos. Okay, so far this is what we have now. First half. Now, let's go to part 2 of the solo, which is one of my favorite open string licks. And I'm giving you everything I got here in these solos. It's a lot of fun stuff, cramming it all into 8 bars. Classic open string lick. This is really the quintessential country open string lick here. And this is where you're really going to utilize your right hand. So we're going to play A, G, and then we're going to play that open string, that E, with your middle finger. So this is thinking more minor pentatonic, but we're going to play open strings. Then the second half, we go to the E, D, B, C, C sharp. Okay, and I'm thinking kind of A7 arpeggio there as I'm playing through it. You have a look at my right hand while I'm doing it. Out of that lick, at the tail end of it, let's not forget we have this little open D string I play. Then I end it with the F sharp A. Then I take that same finger and move it up a string set and go from the B to the C sharp. And that gets me to the E chord, which is nice. Actually, it's the A chord, but it'll work and create a little triad there. Now, if the D chord's coming up in the progression, I'm going to target it once again. Cool string skipping idea here. We're going to play this E flat note going into E. I'm sorry, F sharp. So it's F, F sharp, D. Because what that gives me is a really great sort of major third idea. You can also do a double stop here. So it seems tricky, and there's a lot of this cool stuff weaving in and out, but it's always just basically hitting straight chord tones. Okay? So the second half. Then one of my favorite licks here, think about A minor pentatonic. And it's a great little double stop idea here. So I'm playing that E and this C sharp or C here. And I leave that lick. I play it together with my middle and ring fingers. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to pull off from the 14th to the 12th. And repeat that. You could play that forever. It's really fun once you get it rolling. Now, the very last part, once again, back in arpeggio land. It really helps tie the solo together when we add those chord tones. So we're on the 14th fret. I'm just thinking E7 arpeggio. And I'm sliding into it from a half step away. That's a jazz trick. And when I come down from the lick, I'll play sort of that more minor third idea, which is more quintessential minor pentatonic, if you will. And you'll notice oftentimes I'll play through the whole arpeggio with my fingers. Okay? So, top to bottom, here we go. Open string. You can bend up or pull down. Either way. All right, so plenty of great Paisley style ideas, very modern country, chicken picking type stuff, open strings, arpeggios. Did you get enough in this solo? I hope so, because I sure did. All right, have fun with that one, and when you're ready, move on to the next really cool solo.